Hello YouTube, this is Dealer with the Crazy Picker Life, and next to me as usual...
Wheeler,
you're a little breathy in your wheel.
Okay? Add the H to the W, like Wheeler. Okay, anyway.
Today, this episode, number 2, and we are at February 20th. Which reminds me, I need to pay you today.
Yeah.
No, I already did.
Oh, wow, there you go. Double pay me.
On
trying to save up for some stuff, you know?
On tonight's big show, I'm going to show off a few signs, in fact, camera signs.
Yeah.
We are going to actually talk about your Leica story.
Yeah.
Like we said we would last week.
All the face of the earth.
And it fell off the headlines. So Leica story.
Yeah.
Wheeler is going to unpack a tote. And
what is it here? I think we forgot it.
Gonna unpack it and show you what we do when we list.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about greasy ball bearing shutters.
Hmm.
What is
Just
that?
like when you take it apart, those ball bearings fly everywhere, grease is everywhere, just like starts spewing. Right?
Now, just to show everybody I'm hip, we're going to talk about this Kanye West,
I think it's pronounced Kanye, or I think it's like
Kanye,
French or something.
Kanye West, dude.
Kanye West or something.
And then I got a letter. I got a letter from a customer.
Cool.
And we are rearranging our office. Phase 1 is mostly complete. And
New open floor plan on my office.
That has nothing to do with it.
I know it doesn't.
You're working. Are you working with me or against me there?
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just here.
Oh gosh.
I'm just here tonight. You know?
How much time do I spend with you a week? Approximately.
What do you mean by that?
How much time are we together?
Hours? Days? I don't know.
Anyway, I've seen this mood before, and it's...
Yeah, goofy mood.
Yeah, great. And then we're going to do some questions and answers. So let me start the old stopwatch.
Stopwatch.
Last week, we promised an hour or less show. In fact, in our intro, we promised an hour or less show. And what did we do in episode 1?
Hour and 15 minutes, if I recall.
Give or take.
Yeah, I have no clue, but it was right around there.
Yeah, was it over an hour or under an hour?
Under an hour and 30 minutes. But no, over an hour.
Okay, let's get started. So, signs are a big deal. And I collect beer signs, and I used to just buy them all and get real excited about them. And since that point, I've started to collect only older ones, metal ones, or at least some of my favorite brands, 50 years old or older. I don't have that many, but I finally have some wall space, and I finally have some money, so I'm going to start buying more this summer. We run into a lot of signs.
Yeah, well, we do see a lot of them. Of course, they're usually desirable and all that.
Well, it's hard to make money on signs, or it's hard to make a good multiplier on signs. Sometimes I can double my money.
Yep.
You can always make some money. Some signs are really hard to ship. Some are fragile.
Yeah.
And then the metal signs have problems too, because they can get pretty big and heavy. We bought some signs this summer, and I wanted to show those off. I got one of them at least 6 or 8 months ago, and have got a couple of offers on it. I'm really in no hurry to sell some of these signs, mainly because I don't have a lot of money in them.
Yeah, and they're really cool, some of them.
Some of them are really cool. The one we just bought not too long ago, 2-3 months ago, and I'll show that one last. That one's a really cool one. You know, these are all neat. Okay, so this is a sign that would have been hanging in...
Over to the left a little bit more.
Yeah, I see it.
Got it.
I can see it. I had to get a handle on it.
Yeah.
Would have been hanging in a camera store. It's an EGFA film sign. It does light up. Has hooks to be hung and whatever. It's kind of dusty.
Mostly plastic.
It's plastic, and it's 1995, so it was certainly towards the end of the whole film thing. I picked this up. We picked this up in that basement thing.
Yeah.
$275 for basically the whole basement of what was left, and so we've already sold probably $1,500 or $2,000 from that basement.
Maybe more than that. I don't know.
Maybe more than that.
A lot of stuff.
This is virtually free.
Yep.
Just listed this, $200. I hope I hope it goes for 100 or more plus shipping. I'm not in a big hurry to sell it, but kind of neat.
Yep.
Only one like it out there. There's probably more out there. Signs like that are in back rooms or thrown away. There's
Or
just
still hanging there. I don't know. It depends on what kind of store you go to. But now a lot of those camera stores are now out of business, and they're just kind of, who knows
yeah,
where they ended up.
Who knows? This is another. Oh, it's a neater one.
Mm-hmm. Neon.
I think I paid $25 or $35 for this one. It's another egg-full one. I don't have it plugged in right now, but it is neon. It lights up. It's really neat. It's kind of like a channel sign. It hangs.
Made in USA. Serial number 1093.
Yeah, so they made a bunch of these. These have sold before in the $100 to $200 range. This one's still at around $200. I've got a couple offers around 100 plus shipping. It's heavy and going to be kind of a pain to ship. Sometimes on signs, this one I might do it too. I kind of like this one, and I might actually hang it up.
Yeah.
Sometimes on signs I'll mark them at a certain price, and even with my price reduction thing, I'll put them back up in price because I really don't want to sell them for low. I want them to go at a certain price. Like I said, I paid $25 or $35 for that, so I don't have much into it.
Yep.
And then this one we just picked up this fall.
That one's probably one of the neatest ones I've ever seen.
This would have hung outside in front of a camera or drugstore or a place that developed film. If you look towards the top, you can see it's porcelain, and you can see that this wore through from whatever was.
Yeah, a pretty serious bracket on there.
Well, maybe chains or something, or a bracket, but it moved over time, and so it wore on there a little bit.
Yep.
It's double-sided.
Yep.
From we figured probably mid to late 20s.
Yep, right around there.
The film on there, you can kind of date.
Discontinued in the late 20s, so it has to be mid 20s. Right
Yeah, it's in probably 7 out of 10.
So wooden spool on the sign, so you can tell, kind of date it from that too.
Now I paid up for this. I was not going to leave it there. The guy was not negotiating.
Well, it wasn't really a guy. It's one of these antique stores you walk into, and she will not contact the person and just won't give you a discount.
I think I paid. I think I got 10% dealer discount.
Yeah.
Or cash discount.
Yep.
Currently listed for $900, and I think it goes on sale down to about $800. I want to get at least 7 plus shipping. I paid $5, and it's just really cool.
Yeah. No, it's just one of those. I don't know. It's just something you don't see very often.
You won't find them very often.
Nope.
We haven't seen them.
No. Well, we usually don't go to camera stores in like some of these bigger cities where they had that stuff that long ago.
There's
that's the thing.
There's images on eBay, but I don't believe there's any listed right now.
Yep.
There are a few other versions of that sign, and there are a few other camera or, is it Kodak? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Kodak.
Kodak enamel signs. It's pretty early though, so you don't find many of them.
No, definitely not.
We've had some of the metal ones, so that's pretty cool. Anything on signs in general, we anything that's priced right, we tend to pick up. Like I said, I'm going to buy some things this summer.
Yeah.
Because I've got kind of a budget that I want to put some decorations on the wall. So we like signs. I like signs. We probably have 20 or 30 or 40 signs in for inventory at all times, and I have a few that are hanging on my wall that I like on my wall, but are also priced and up. So if somebody pays up, they can have them.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep moving.
And you take a video of that clock or whatever, because that's kind of neat. Advertisement too for Egg for Film. The one that was up there that was squealy.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, we should mention that.
Yeah.
And we should cut to that because
I thought you took a video of that.
I did. We were going to do it first. We had some noise in our last video, and a couple viewers noticed that, and it was this clock. Squeaky, squeaky. Okay, so we cut to that. That clock makes a funky noise, and now I've replaced it with this clock. The replacement. You can hear the hum of the lights above me, but no more noise. No more noise on the clock. One problem, it's not lit though, and this used to be our entryway light. Have to solve that somehow. That's my cut noise.
Totally can leave that in there. This too, like, it's great. Professional editing here at the Crazy Figure Life.
Yeah, it's analog editing.
Yep.
So anyway, we did have a cool clock. I've also got another advertising clock that's for movie screens.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one.
Projector
screen.
Projector screens. So a company made projector screens, and they made an advertising piece of clock.
Yep, 1950s reverse painted glass clock face. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, the clock face is busted glass, and the hands are kind of bent out. So I have to rework that one. But
they paid a lot for it. It's pretty neat.
I might have paid $50 for it.
Well, yeah, it's not a lot.
No, it needs some repair.
Yep.
I mean, I like to not pay anything for stuff, but I couldn't pass
camera related stuff.
Yeah, I couldn't pass it up. So we put a new clock up there, a sound-free one. We still do have some light.
Yeah, ballast
humming noise, but we'll try to ignore that.
Yeah, I have surround sound on this camera, so that can be an issue if there's like all kinds of weird stuff going around you. You hear it just as loud as us here.
Well, we usually film off peak for noise around here. So.
Yep.
So anyway, signs, we like them, and let's talk about your Leica story. You just
Likey.
Yeah, I don't know. You go ahead, and I'll let you go a little bit, and if I want to add something, I will.
Yep. Well, we actually picked up this little accessory from a collector in the Wisconsin area.
Camera accessory.
Yep. Camera accessory. It was a Leica Visoflex pellicle mirror thing that was done by a custom guy who made custom camera accessories.
Hang on. Leica is a camera brand.
Yep.
Are there any camera brands that are higher than Leica?
Not in like the 35mm market, because if you go into large format and some other stuff there is, but no, for the most part, like if you want to buy a camera today, Leica's probably the most expensive you would go out and buy.
It's sort of like the Rolex or Mercedes or that type of thing.
Absolutely.
If you don't know what that is, I mean, most people have.
Because they do have some different perks you can't get with any other camera, but yeah, they're definitely a luxury brand.
Okay.
But anyway, we found this Leica accessory, which usually this uncustomized accessory goes for around $200. Which I guess I'll put a picture here, which I'll put that in editing.
No, we're not going to put it in there.
Not?
No, we're not. I'm sorry, I know we're live and all that. We're not going edit crazy, and you're not even doing...
1 second.
Huh?
You stick that in there like 1 second.
We're not going to argue on camera.
But anyway, so...
Here's the backstory, okay? I go away from the shop, and Wheeler, you can do what you want. I mean, I don't mind that you do these projects, but he starts doing skateboard videos and all these things, and it's great. It's great. But we're not doing that here. This is just the show.
And nobody can see what this thing is, so that's kind of...
It doesn't matter. The story is this.
Yep.
We bought it for about $300.
Yep.
And we sold it for $2,700.
Yep.
That's all we need to know.
Okay.
Well, I mean, the other stuff, it's... Talk a little bit about the guy who was in Wisconsin that we're going to try to go pick that customized these things.
Yeah, it was actually his dad who did that, and he made these customizations. He was partnered with Leica back in the 1950s and did this like customization to this thing, and apparently his stuff is pretty collectible now. Some of his pieces are going for up to like $30,000. For certain stuff, it's on these big camera auctions and whatever. So I had a hunch off that. I posted on a forum, and his son answered, telling me a little bit more about this thing, and then I was able to pinpoint it and figure out what it was. So
piece it all together.
Yep. So we're possibly going to go visit his son here sometime, because he still has a camera repair business and has some stuff like that. So
yeah, anyway. You know, the really exciting part in our business is making the money.
Yep. No, that was quite a
and finding the score. I mean, it's a $2,000 plus profit on a $300 item. The other part of the story that's neat is the guy who got it was just thrilled
Yeah.
to pieces. I mean,
Absolutely.
Because these things just don't surface.
No, absolutely not.
You can't even tell what the heck it is.
Yeah, so here's another thing. I did probably 3 hours of research total over a couple different sessions trying to find this thing, and I only found 2 of them. One of them was just a picture on a collector's website. The second one was on an auction site, along with some other accessories and stuff that went along with it, the expensive stuff. But the estimate on that auction, which I can't tell sell prices or whatever, but the estimate was $35,000 to $45,000. So that gave me a little bit of a lead right there, and man,
well, we've also
some stuff like that.
We've also learned a few things there, and so when we do come across these things, anything that looks anything like that's in the $100 or $200, $300 range, we're not going to blink to pick up.
No, definitely not.
Whereas
if you can tell that seems like it's a well done mod and stuff, because if it's not by a famous guy, then it's probably not going to go for that.
If it's by this guy.
Yeah, by this guy for sure.
So
yep.
I didn't mean to get kind of like aggressive with you there, but you and I both talked that we're not doing many edits.
Yeah.
And when you talked about editing for that little cut for the clock, I'll be doing that.
Okay.
I'm just gonna do that on YouTube. I mean, we just gotta upload stuff and put it up. No disrespect.
Yep.
The YouTube videos, we love to do them. They don't make us any money.
So I can find this picture. It literally took me a second to put there, but anyway. Yep, we're good. Back to the show.
Don't misinterpret any of this. Well, I mean,
it's a crazy picker of life. We're gotta be all about nuts.
I mean, I'm not all about the money, but I've got my reasons. Okay.
Yep.
I can feel the heat on the feedback already, or whatever, the comments. Oh my gosh.
Leave a hate comment in the comments below.
Quit picking on Wheeler. Let Wheeler talk. Quit being an aggressive father. Yeah. You're a casserole. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Yeah.
No, that'll be coming. It's partially as our mood. I'm like on a down swing where I just want to end the week, and you're like,
yeah. Okay,
Wheeler unpacking. Now, we have rearranged our office, and a bunch of Wheeler's stuff went out into the new area, which we're actually going to show a video of here in a little while. And you rearranged your office.
Yep.
So we are going to be in your office here in a minute.
Yeah.
But give us a little insight on what we're going to see here.
Well, no, I guess this is our standard procedure when we bring a tote of new stuff that hasn't been worked through, searched through yet, and we take it into my office and then we sort it. So that's pretty much what this is.
Well, we've had
tote of back stock.
We've had this procedure for a long time, but we've had to modify it and go back to it and modify and go back to it.
We've been refining it.
Yeah. So without any further ado, we made a 5-minute video or something. Here comes another super edit.
Okay, well I guess we're going to work on the back stock here. This is just a random tote we pulled out of there. First, let's just pull up the trash bin here. You know, we gotta get into that, and let's go into the first thing here. So I guess first off, we have this camera right here with some sort of strap. Let's see here.
So Wheeler, what are we doing? What's this long table you have here?
This is the chute. So I put all the stuff that's ready to list.
We have a chute. We have a pre-sorting chute, and we have an office chute.
Yep.
Okay, this is your
sorting chute.
Yeah.
Flash unit.
Nope. Flash unit. Why do you throw that away?
Let's see. Pro spec, fully dedicated auto thyristor. Nah.
You don't think that's worth anything? What if we sold that separately?
If I want to sell it separately, I could probably get $8.99 free shipping reasonably quickly, but it's not worth it on something like that.
We don't do that anymore, do we?
No, we don't do that. And then this thing, you know, this looks really usable, you know. You like my shutter releases are in 2 pieces here.
Somebody really did a quick shutter release.
Somebody had to release the shutter there, so that's going in there. I guess just random paper or something there.
Never know what you might find in there.
No, you never know.
What is your business partner here always look for when we go through bags?
$20 bill.
It's the secret $20 bill. The $20 bill thing, my dad used to always have a $20 bill in his secret $20 bill. He used to tell me as a kid, I always, in case of emergencies, have a secret $20 bill. And he showed me, you know, that $20 bill like 3 or 4 times. Mm-hmm. And so now he's passed, but now every time we go through camera bag and thing, I'm always looking for that secret $20 bill. Have we ever found one?
No. We found some quarters, dimes, nickels, and all that to unscrew the battery doors, but no money yet.
We found some foreign currency that one time.
We did?
Yeah, some foreign bills. I don't know, they weren't worth a lot.
Oh.
Certainly foreign coins.
Oh, well, yeah, no, that came in just a random lot, but that wasn't quite.
Well, yeah.
The bottom of a bag is emergency fund.
Yeah.
So anyway, random manuals, you only need the camera and lens.
So you can tell which ones we want right away.
Yep. Just a quick sort.
So on your table here is only going stuff that at first glance you're going to test, smell, sniff,
yep, and
possibly list. Everything else.
Cleaning kit.
This isn't how we always used to do it. This is the new efficient wheeler. This is the new wheeler.
Huh. That's kind of cool. LX manual thingy. Ooh, yeah, this is a good camera here. It's a little digital camera.
You remember buying it?
Yep. We're buying that. We got a
hopefully it's
camera here.
Hopefully it's in there.
Yeah.
Paid big bucks for it, probably.
Yeah, it's in there.
Lumix.
Panasonic Lumix with a Leica lens.
Oh yeah. So what is that? What could that go for?
No clue off the top of my head. I'd say between 50 and 120, depending on which one it is.
Right.
It's pretty warm. But this is a kind of neat box camera. You don't see a lot.
We don't pick up a lot of box cameras anymore, do we?
Well, no, this one's a neat one. Though.
Just the neat ones.
Yep, just the neat ones.
Hey, did you get that picture that I emailed you of the...
Yeah, I did.
Is that anything weird?
Nope.
No.
And I got a Polaroid Pro Pack here. One of the last instant cameras, pack film instant cameras with the flash. An Insco Commander. Never actually had one of those. That's odd. Forgot picking that one up.
So it kind of pops open. It's kind of a...
Yeah. I looked for the mechanism for a second there, but I'm not going to pop it open. Well, actually, no, that's weird.
Yeah.
Just so it's a little shoe thing on it.
So who might buy that?
Collectors, or somebody wants to use it. Mostly collectors, though.
Because they look cool.
Yep. Well, that's an Ansco Commander. I've never heard of one of those, so that's an oddball.
So those kind of cameras can range all the way from stinky and worthless to hundreds of dollars, depending, right?
Yeah, that one's probably, just looking at probably in the $50 to $60 range.
Right.
That's a pretty good one. We got a Sheikah N8000 3D camera. Not worth a ton, but that's kind of interesting.
We've had a new one in box before, and it's...
Yeah, no, that one had some issues or something.
Forever and ever and ever.
Yeah. Anyway, Pendex MX, that's a real good one right there. The camera only on that is about $100.
And we'll separate the lens from that shortly.
Some Minolta control unit for a ring flash. That's why it doesn't have any flash on there.
So why are you keeping that flash and not the other one?
Not actually a flash. There's a ring flash that plugs in there, but now that's Minolta branded, so that's where I'll go.
Yeah, there's still more stuff.
Pioneer. I'm not sure why exactly we picked this one. Must have been a lot or something. Still go for $29.99 or something, but it's not something I usually pick up.
Well, listen, and you know about this. If it's below a certain point, just put it in our outgoing box, and we'll
that one's good.
And we'll lot it up.
And we got an Argus Tele Sandmar lens in a case, so that's nice. Just for the Argus brick. If anybody's seen those. Let's see, we have a Nikon down in here. That's surprising.
Yeah, I don't know what this tote is, but we stuffed a bunch of pretty good stuff in here.
Yeah, E-series lens on there. So that's pretty good. We got a Dual Flex 4, another thing we don't pick up very often. This one must have been, I guess this is the 4.
Yeah, it's complete.
Yep, complete. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. We picked up a lot here with this camera, that one, and this one, and some other ones here because we've never picked these up. But they still sell. Just usually we find them too expensive. Plus, they're just, in general. Well, let's go ahead and name on there. Man Crest.
Whoa.
What a Man Crest camera.
Whoa. Put that on your mantle and everybody can see your Man Crest.
It's kind of a weird name on there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Now, how many different names of cameras are there?
This certain, well, million, but anyway. This certain camera, I'd say, I've seen about 15 to 20 rebadges of this name, but there's probably about 100.
So here's the real question.
Yeah.
How many times a year do we find a camera like that and we see the name and we just shake our heads like that's the craziest thing ever? Couple times a year. Yeah.
And this one is another one I wouldn't usually pick up, but there's a reason on this one. It's an Argus Super 75. It's like the deluxe model with the focusing lens and all that, so that's a cool one.
50, 60 bucks.
Yep, usually don't see those. Those are kind of neat. This thing too, Ansco Flex 2.
Whoa, it's got the Sunshade.
Garage door.
Garage door.
Whatever you call it, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of this stuff could go way back. Who knows where?
Yeah.
I don't have a clue where we got this
way
from.
old. Automatic 100, missing the door on there, still should be $45 real quick. Corrosion or not? Nope, no corrosion either.
People just love those. They still shoot film.
That one goes for a little bit less because it's missing the front door thingy on it.
We might have a door.
Not exactly sure what this is. That's kind of odd. Oh, you know what? It goes right here. Too bad it's kind of schminkled, but
there you
that's
go.
the flash unit for that one right there.
Makes it even more desirable.
And a couple little various adapter rings and filters. SBE by Nikon. Little flash unit. That one actually, since it's Nikon branded, goes for a little bit.
We're getting down there.
Yep, a couple rolls of film. Those go to a film lot. Tower 20B range finder camera there with a Mamiya lens on it, which is actually kind of interesting. It's weird when camera manufacturers rebadge.
I like the lens cap.
Cameras. Yeah, Tower. And we just got a non-colored star flash, which actually that's not the standard color that it came in. They usually came in gray. This one's actually black. So that, surprisingly, even though it's not colored, it's
well. You remember that blue one that we finally listed up? I don't remember what the blue one sold for, but it was probably
sold pretty quick,
close to $40.
Yeah, but anyway, Instamatic X15. That is.
Ooh.
But anyway, I'm not sure what these came off of because there's a random knob in here. So one of these cameras in there is missing a knob. It's right here.
There you go.
I'll have to stick that back together if I can.
Okay.
So
not too bad. Tote's empty. Garbage can, not too much in there. And 20, 25 items to list.
Yep. That's about it.
This may not be a standard tote, but this is how
it's pretty standard as far as backstock. It's just pretty random.
This is how Wheeler sorts a tote, and now he's ready to go to work. So 8 minutes, 29 seconds. Back to work.
Yep.
And see, I'm going to be the one, oh, we're back. I'm going to be the one that actually does those awesome cuts, so.
Yep.
You know.
They're going to be more awesome than ever before. You should like explosions and like lizards crawling across the screen. I do hire myself out for editing at $100 an hour. Yeah. But I have a 45-minute maximum. So. You know, $25, you can get them for an hour. What we used to do, we used to do some videos with some pretty crazy editing and all that stuff. And we made a challenge. We may do some of that again, but it is time consuming, and it is fun to a degree. Yep, it's about 30 minutes to every 2 minutes of highly edited video, give or take. So that's about, if I want to make an 8-minute video, then that turns into about 2 hours. And sort of our agreement is that you can do that stuff, but for your own videos, and we're just, the rest of it, when we're here, we're going to just do this stuff. Exactly. So, greasy ball bearing shutters. So I don't have one to show here, but I guess I have a little story on this. Like, we've had probably, say, 200 Kodak cameras pass through, and they had this thing called a ball bearing shutter. It was one of the first shutter technologies, which a shutter is just a little thing that opens and closes to expose the film, shed light on the film. But anyway... so wait a minute, if you think of a camera, the noise... That's the shutter. Right. And the mirror slap, if you have it. That's a lot of it. Yeah. Alright, so ball bearing shutters. Yep. What was before a ball bearing shutter? Either like a lens cap you take on and off, or a string that pulls the shutter up and down. What is the approximate era for ball bearing, greasy ball bearing shutters? Think about it, but I think like they started integrating them right around like 1895, and then they really came in to dominate the market right around 1900. So that was about until when? Give or take the early 30s. That was about when they started coming out. And then everything after that basically went downhill, but what? Yeah, well, they used a different method with springs and stuff. The problem is the springs rusted, the oils they used to lubricate greased up and like freezed up the whole blade mechanism and whatever. Okay, so... And it's funny, you call them greasy ball bearings because they actually really didn't have a lot of grease, because otherwise they'd be like the other shutters that get all greasy. And but anyway... So anyway, this thing, I'm not sure exactly how it relates to ball bearings, but they call it the ball bearing shutter, and literally these things will work no matter what. Like, we've had about 200 cameras. I think we've had maybe 1 or 2 that are not working, and usually that's just a totally unrelated problem. Somebody stuck their finger through a shutter or something. So that's an interesting note, that modern shutters cannot hold up to the really old ones, like the first shutter that ever came out. So I thought that was interesting.
So we just happened to be talking about this today, why we have so many cameras that seize up and wear out, and what goes
Too complicated,
first.
too many gears.
They cheapened up the damn shutters,
Yep.
and so the cameras from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, a larger percentage of those will be gummed up and don't work.
Yeah, and plus they started trying to integrate battery power. They had like 50 gears and gizmos in there, and they really tried to add more features which weren't in the earlier cameras. So that was the give off. But the problem is, you know, obviously electronics and early electronics and old mechanics don't always like to jive with the modern day.
So as far as desirability, though, nobody cares really about buying the cameras from 1900 to 1930 anyway. There's a market.
Yeah, there's definitely certain ones,
it's
but
small.
Yeah, for the most part, it's usually the ones like in the late teens to mid-20s aren't very desirable. The ones pre that are usually pretty good, but yeah, just in general.
So if you want to buy and sell vintage cameras, the big kicker is the good shutters aren't that desirable.
No.
And the bad shutters is where you make your living.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, the very mechanically unsound cameras.
Greasy ball bearing shutters. This show, you never know what you're going to get.
No, it's just random, crazy bigger life, crazy.
Oh,
Ooh,
crazy.
crazy lizards
Yeah.
flying across the screen.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
All right, so this Kanye West dude, he's
Kanye?
some sort of a rap star, music star. His wife is Kardashian, I think.
Yeah.
And,
Kime or something?
Huh?
Kime? I don't remember. Kime Kardashian? Let's keep going with all the names.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, I'm so hip. I don't even want to reveal.
No, I just run into random
So,
stuff
you know,
all the
this
time.
is like a news story that hit me. The guy had some sort of meltdown, I guess, on Saturday Night Live, and he's had a couple, you know, problems with reporters punching him and all that, and he's kind of moody, and you know, obviously he's got money, and he talks about himself, I guess, in the third person. So you got some of that going. He mentions like Van Gogh and all these architects and all these artsy people, that he is the modern day super genius.
Yeah, wow.
Right? I mean,
yeah, no, this is the modern Leonardo da Vinci is going to
Right.
be Mona Lisa in rap music.
Right. And you know, all that's probably true. And he's got like, you know,
Yeah.
$1 million cars and $10,000
I don't know if it's the same
underwear.
guy, but yeah, no, he has like a car collection with the same guy. Maybe that's Lil Wayne. I don't remember. But there's all these random weird rapper people.
So I guess
Really pay attention
he's
to
a
it.
big tweeter guy too. So he tweets out something like to this Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook and says, "Hey, look, you know, you need to invest $1 billion with me because I am," and then he has this long list of, basically he's the modern day smart guy.
Yeah.
Artistic, you know, Renaissance man. And so you should invest $1 billion because I'm $53 million in personal debt.
Sounds nice.
Yeah, I think he's got some kids or something now too, or something, you know. Another thing is, I guess he only smiles like 0.001% of the time or something awesome like that. You know, I really did a lot of research for this show.
Yeah, no, we went in depth.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, whether he's broke or has a net worth or, you know, has companies,
Who knows?
whatever. They set up this website for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
GoFundMe, Patreon, Kickstarter.
give me some money,
yeah.
you know? And,
Yeah.
And so people have been giving him money to pay off this $53 million because he's a modern day Renaissance man, down on his luck, you know.
Chris Picasso was pretty weird, so I guess you never know.
Right. So I came up with this idea as a picker that I think we're going to try to get in contact with his agent and go pick his house.
Yeah. No, it sounds like
Or
a
his
great idea.
business, or his office.
There's really expensive gold-plated Leicas and
Well, yeah, I mean,
Rolexes.
we can get help him get out of debt by buying some of his, back stuff.
Hey, Perez one of these Kodak signs, probably like 50 of them in mid shape or something.
Yeah,
now he's obviously rich. He's got everything.
Well, no, he's in debt, $53 million.
Well, I mean, he was rich, so he has everything.
He must have something.
Yeah.
So
either way,
he should have a rummage sale or a private sale. We can go pick him.
Yep.
And then,
Or we can pretend to be the American Pickers, except we can be like the nose pickers or something.
Well, American Pickers went to like Bill Shatner's house.
Yeah.
William Shatner's
That's what I'm
house.
saying. So we have to pretend to be the American Pickers, and we show up. We just kind of like.
What's the guy that bought the elephant?
Like hoods and stuff, and pretend.
What's the guy that bought the elephant head? Black, Jack Black or something.
I have no clue.
Some crazy guy.
Yeah.
So anyway,
yeah.
I could drop 10 large there. That would help.
Yeah.
What does 10 large even mean?
$10.
Does it mean 10
cents?
$100?
Dime. I got a dime. I can bring along.
10 1,000, 10,000. I could drop $10,000 on his cause and put a little dent in there, and we could get some inventory for Amazon.
Hey, you can buy like a couple of these new hoverboard things that everybody's talking about. He needs like 10 of those.
I don't want anything like that.
No, I'm saying he can buy those with the 10,000 we get.
No, he has to pay off his debt.
Well,
he's about to go bankrupt.
Okay.
You don't understand his...
Well, you can start a YouTube channel doing hoverboard tricks and become famous and pay off his debt with that.
You don't understand his position. He's in pain. He's reaching out here.
I'm pretty random right here, so...
Random.
That's the problem.
He's reaching out to the picker community.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. Well, no, that's his message through all these...
Well, it's a subliminal read between the lines message, but he needs some good pickers. So
watch this video, always 50th frame. It's like, pickers, come help me.
Yeah, it's more like devil signs and pink triangles and all that kind of crap.
Whatever that song is, like the Illuminati song.
You've been hitting sauce, Wheeler?
I don't know. Just like weak coffee today. I didn't have crazy coffee like last week, so hopefully I'm not that hyper.
Well, we have 2 organic coffees.
One
is dark and one is with mushrooms.
Yeah, there you go. Remember the non-mushroom.
I wonder which one you have.
No. Okay, anyway.
Okay, so I sold my son Banana Peeler, who is around here, but...
Yeah, he's kind of like recluse spider or something.
Well, he's got a little shy here of the camera. We have certain categories of things that he and I and he looks for, and one of them is hats. Vintage hats, like old John Deere hats, or we found some good what's the duck place?
Ducks Unlimited, I think.
Ducks Unlimited, and what's the other sportsman place? I don't know.
Cabela's?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we find all these snapback and trucker hats and foam hats and old beer hats, and so we probably have 100 hats, and we probably sold half of them in this last year. And we pick them up for anywhere from 50 cents on up.
It's like a Canon golf visor thing, that's about it. I found a lot of camera hats, surprisingly. We found a couple of Kodaks and some other stuff, but not a lot. Anyway, back to your hat story.
Back to the hat story.
Get off topic.
So, not all of them pan out, but a bunch of them that we buy for $1 or less will sell for 20 or more.
Yeah.
In fact, around the holidays, we had a run of this one brand of duck hat or Cabela's or one of those things.
Ducks Unlimited.
Yeah, they were new old stock, and you can always smell them and tell.
I think it's a Colorado brand too. We were seeing billboards around there.
Some of the foam will deteriorate on some of those foam ones, but
yeah,
these were virtually mint, and I think we sold 10 or 12 of them for $25 and up.
Yep.
So anyway, we had this Gooch's hat. Gooch's Feed. Red. It's a Iowa brand. And we'd never seen it before.
So like grain and feed hats, we never really...
Yeah, Banana Peeler took a chance on it for 50 cents or $1, and it sat around for a while. It sold for $16 plus shipping to this gentleman who used to be from Iowa and now I guess is out in Utah, but he was just tickled pink. Okay, he's a little older than me, and he remembers all these things from his childhood, and so he got this hat and left me great feedback, wrote me a personal email through eBay on how he just could not get over that. Here it was, his whole childhood was through this hat.
It's like my new lens I got. I'm like, whoa, the lens.
And then this last week, he writes me a letter through the mail.
Bad.
And you know, the envelope is typed like on a typewriter, and then it's a typed letter.
Yeah.
On a typewriter.
I still have a typewriter.
Yeah.
I have two actually.
2.5-page letter. And I'm not going to read it, but I mean, the guy just it's the first time I've ever received a letter for 20,000 items sold, and this guy just loves his hat, and I'm tempted, you know, kind of an interesting guy, and I can't quite figure it all out, but tempted to become his pen pal.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's a form letter that he sends every person that he...
He has like 50,000 feedback. He just sends everybody letters. He sends like all these letters.
Well, you know, some of it kind of goes off in different tangents, but it is personalized, and there are...
Man, I think if you sent a seemingly personalized letter along with every item, I think you'd have less returns. Just saying.
Well, this, you know, there was 2 or 3 paragraphs that had things about the Gooches and his background and all this kind of stuff, and so kind of interesting.
Yep.
I enjoyed reading it, and so that was something interesting. Thought I'd share that. Office rearrange. Okay. Phase 1. We moved all the stuff we haven't listed and all the stuff we're not using and all the stuff that's been clogging up our business and all the extra boxes and all the overflow and all that to our new space. And so here's that video. Okay, so this is our new space that we've had for about 20 days now. It adds quite a bit of square footage onto our office, and actually a type of space that we need. Most of our office, if you haven't seen it, and we'll do another office tour here in the coming weeks or months or whatever as we update things and want to show them off or whatever. Most of our offices like you know, carpeting and nice drywall, and you know, it was an insurance office, and before that it was a local telephone company and internet company office, and so it was not A+ quality, but you know, it's pretty nicely done, pretty updated. This is more of a storage type space, and as you're about to see when I go in here, we've just taken everything that's kind of been plugging up our office area, and it's amazing how much stuff there is, but it's all out here, and it's a little overwhelming. It's a little more than I thought. We're going to have our overflow box storage out here. I do have a place in our current area here that we are using and are going to use for packing, but all the excess stuff will go in here, and that'll be more organized as we go. This cubby hole back here is going to continue to evolve. Most likely this summer, late this summer, early this fall, we are going to have a workout area, and the space has separate heat and air conditioning, and so we're able to keep it at a reasonable temperature either way if we want to. It's also surrounded by the building, so it does pretty good by itself. They didn't have the heat on in here all winter, and they didn't really have anything critical in here. We had some cold weather, and I ducked my head in and out of here and in and out of here. It really wasn't too bad. So anyway, that back area is going to be more or less a workout area. You're going to see a little bit of everything here. It's got nicely finished, nice lighting and nicely finished ceilings. It's got a nice shelf unit that we're not making very good usage of yet, but we will. We had some back stock, and we had some shelving. We moved that over to that side. It was actually over by the workout area. That's going to work pretty good. I'll kind of lay out how the flow is going to go and what's going to happen here. There is a garage door on the way in. Unfortunately, it's not big enough to back my van in. It's too bad. It's about 5 inches too short. We are able to back the van up to it, and so that'll be nice. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do, and you'll see this evolve. We'll probably come back and revisit this room. I don't know, probably a couple months, because the plan really was to move everything in the offices that was plugging us up in there out of the offices, and then I'm going to spend time redoing the inventory areas in the offices, redoing some of the offices actually, and making those more livable. The man room is going to go into progress. The you know, our fun room where we hang out, eat pizza, watch movies, whatever else we do in there. We've got some video game stuff in there, and then the packing area needs to be all redone. And so those will be some videos that'll be coming up. And the nice thing about us doing these weekly shows is it pushes me a little bit to get stuff done, so I can show it off a little bit. It's a good thing for both. And of course, if you're just starting selling online or on eBay, you know, all this kind of space might seem overwhelming. If you're a good-sized seller, you know, you're familiar with having space like this. Some of you may think this is small. Some of you may be drooling. I don't know. I always wanted to have a space like this when we were working out of the house, so I'm pretty excited about it and pretty satisfied with what we have. Okay, so we go out picking quite a bit. What we're going to do is back up to this door. We'll come in, we'll open the door, we're going to unload things, and I don't know if I'll have some pallets on the floor or whatever, but we will drop it there, and from there we're going to take, usually our stuff is mostly in totes. When we go out picking, we bring totes and we put items that fit in totes in the totes. And so it'll be just unloading totes and setting it there. Anything bigger, we can lean against the wall or just set there. We'll then go home. Usually we get home really late, so we'll just go home and sleep. And when I come in Saturday or Monday or whatever, we'll take the stuff from the floor. And the goal is to not have this packed full, but the goal is to be able to take that stuff and just slam it up on the incoming inventory shelves. Right now, I mentioned we had 20 totes of camera stuff left. There's 16 more or less right up on the top there. And then there's a bunch of miscellaneous stuff there. It's a little bit more than I thought. Over there is some stuff for me to work through. So I've got to do that. A lot of that is pretty fast, sorting and whatever. So it shouldn't be too bad. This stuff in the middle is going to be, a lot of it going to be thrown away or stored away. Old computers and stuff like that. There is some inventory there. Down the middle, we're going to have some sort of a chute. If you remember our videos of the basement a few years back when we used to work out of the basement, we had a lineup of desks all open, and what we'll do is we'll take 2, 3, 4 totes from here and we'll lay everything out and kind of look it over and triage it. We'll throw some things out. Some things will probably have to go to the cleanup area maybe, and then everything that we're going to keep or look up we'll throw in another tote. And it'll all be broke down more or less into nice totes. And then from there, we're going to have a shelf or shelves over here that'll have totes full of stuff. And we can take one tote at a time into our offices, unpack it in our areas, and list tote by tote. We've had kind of a on and off system like that for a while, but usually what happens is we end up just with a big mess in a few places. I've got a few big messes in the corner there, and my son Wheeler cleaned out his office so that we could get flow going again. And part of having a son working for you that's 16 going on 17 has lots of opportunity to buy stuff and has lots of disposable income. He buys too much stuff for himself, so Wheeler and I always have talks. There's my garage at home that has all of his scooters and skateboards and snowboards and bicycles, and he needs his own 10 by 20. So we're going to work on paring that down. Some of that needs to be sold. He knows that. Some of it actually is cords and chargers and stuff. And so it's not quite as bad as it looks, but it's pretty bad. And then there's all kinds of miscellaneous mixed in stuff, packing and otherwise. So it's a nice space. I don't know where we had all this stuff in the old office. Amazing. Hope to show you this again, and I hope it's going to be set up and organized and working to our advantage so that this space pays off. Now, we happen to live in an area that buildings and taxes are heading up. Certainly more expensive than I would like. We don't need highway front, street front, any of that. So I don't know where we're going to buy a building or build a building eventually. I need it to be the right building. Rent is pretty cheap here, so pretty happy about that comparatively. I mean, it's not a deal killer. Those are some items that will be sold in lots. And so I guess last one of our strategies, got to keep Wheeler's, everything's got to be simple for him, just works better that way. So we have him bring a tote in there, spread it out like we showed in the other video, or will be showing in another video in this episode. He gives me some stuff back. The stuff he gives me back goes here, and we lot that up. Or sometimes, don't tell Wheeler, sometimes I throw it out. But a lot of it gets lotted up. Lenses, old cool looking cameras, camera straps, camera filters, filter rings. There's a lot of things that we accumulate that we can lot up, and they sell pretty well. Okay, so back to the show, and hopefully we get those lava lamps running again soon. And
hello. Oh, we're going back now.
What?
I'm not sure if dealer showed it in the video or not, but man, I really accumulated a lot of stuff over the last 8 years. If you saw that pile in there.
I didn't show it. Did I?
Okay.
Wink,
no.
wink, wink, wink.
Moved all my old stuff in my office in there, and man, what I thought.
Hoarder.
Not quite.
Okay.
Everything for sale.
You want to do
Everything.
questions and questions? We got a couple of questions and comments, or you want to show cameras?
Show cameras.
Okay, so I can take a breather.
Yep.
Show some. It's show cameras with Wheeler time.
Yep. So after we unpacked that last tote, I actually got another tote after that. After I finished off that one tote, and here's some stuff that was in there. Just some kind of neat stuff. First off, we have a Zeiss Icon Super Nettle, which is like this crazy folding rangefinder camera. The reason this is cool is it was quite an early version of that, and also since it's from the late 40s and in near mint condition, which is really neat.
No, we just uncovered that today.
Just uncovered it, and right now there's only one on eBay listed for around $1,000. This one I have not confirmed that it works correctly, but should be a good buy either way. I think we paid $150 to $200 or something. We paid up for that one, but yeah. It's neat.
It's a couple $100 at least.
Yep.
Get our money back.
Yep. No, we paid up for it, but it's neat.
Neat.
So, neat cameras. And then I guess I just have a couple other ones here, which probably aren't quite as neat to everybody else, but they're kind of neat to me because you don't pick up a lot of them. But there's a Konica with an original like metal lens cap, which those are kind of neat to find on. They keep the lens nice.
Metal embossed.
Yep.
Lens caps.
It's like an old sign or something.
Are just neat. Now you could sell that lens cap for probably $40.
Exactly. But it's a Konica 2, little rangefinder camera, the case, nice shape.
What's Konica's story? Who are they?
Not a clue when they're founded, but I think right in the late 20s, early 30s.
Japanese?
Yeah, they're Japanese, originally Kobayashi something. But anyway, yeah, they're founded in the late 20s, early 30s, started with rangefinder cameras. They invented some cameras too, if I remember correctly. They actually have the world's smallest 35mm camera was made by them in the 60s.
They're still into something, copy machines.
Yeah, they're still in copy machines. They were making lenses up until about 7 years ago or something. They were partnered with Minolta, they bought Minolta or something like that. But anyway.
Minolta's gone.
So anyway, here's another camera here. It has a price tag of $60 on it, so we paid a little bit less than that. I remember picking this up.
Give him a...
It's a Flex Model B, pre-war model. Just an early one.
Now what date ranges did they... What is that kind of camera called?
Pre-war?
No, the boxiness of it.
Oh, twin lens reflex TLR camera.
Okay, so
kind of like the Rolleiflex or something like that.
From like the 30s to the 50s they made those?
Yeah, well they made these all the way up until the 80s, I think, in Flex branding, but this is an early one. This is pre-war, so that means pre-World War II, about 1938 or before.
Are there collectors that are shooting with those, or mostly just...
Mostly collectors.
They have a look. It's kind of like, I don't know, old Buicks or something with the fins or something.
Well, that one in particular,
and
it stands
the grills.
out. Yeah, it stands out from like the Rolleiflexes and other cameras because it has a little bit different look. And then this one's kind of an odd one. First of all, it has like a really weird profile on it, plus the grip.
First of all, what is it?
Well, that's what I was getting to that.
Oh, you just said it's an odd one.
Well, it's a real odd one, but the weird thing is it's a Canon, which is like a real mainstream brand. So that was what was odd about it.
Is that an Instamatic camera?
I don't really have a high shutter speed set right now.
Is that a Polaroid? What is it?
No, it's a movie camera.
Oh.
Oh, okay, that's what you're asking.
Yeah. Start out with the basics.
Yeah, 8mm film movie camera. But anyway, another interesting thing about this is it has a little EP symbol on there. I'm not sure if it means this for every single item ever, but for this certain thing and a lot of other cameras, the EP means export permitted, and that means that it was sold at Army PXs in different countries. So that was the draw there, Air Force PX, Army PX, whatever, like their little shopping
Looks like a hairdryer.
Yeah, I know, it's really weird looking.
It's big.
Yeah. And then this thing,
gangly.
Unfortunately, it has a lot of issues. Like it's been dropped and it has some cracked pieces. Otherwise, it'd be a lot better.
We dropped it?
No. It just was dropped. And it's missing the extension rails and some other stuff. But this is a new View by Newton. In mint shape, they're going for right around $400. I think ours is down to about $200. And it has a lot of watchers on it. Has for a long time.
So what do you use that for?
It's a large format camera, but I thought it was kind of neat just because of how weird it looks. It's one of the newer ones we picked up. So, anyway.
So what would you do with that?
We used it to test some weird lenses before, but you take photos. You put a film holder on the back, and put a lens on the front, and you open and close a lens shutter, or have a shutter, and then here's your picture.
So did you say large format?
Yep, large format. It's 4x5, I think, or 5x7.
So the pictures that you get out of something like that would have more megapixels, basically.
Oh yeah.
Better image.
Bigger negative equals better image, more blown out background, more aesthetically pleasing, bigger prints, whatever.
So you could make bigger prints.
Yep.
Okay, so.
Especially back in like the...
People still use that?
Yeah, no, definitely. That's going to be a user camera if somebody gets it, since it's so beat up. So they're going to have to find the rails and whatever. But anyway, like just another thing on the whole large format thing. Most cameras pre-1920 were large format, and there was a reason for that. It was because of... Like, there was no such thing as a larger back then, so the negative size was actually the print size you get. So if you want to print this big, you got to have a camera that takes that bigger film, which is pretty crazy, and they did have cameras like that. Like, they took I've seen this picture of this camera they took a picture of a whole train with, and man, that thing was like 30 by 30 feet or something, biggest camera ever made, so it's kind of interesting, but anyway,
well,
kind of rant.
One of our contacts that no longer is in the business remembers when he was a kid and younger, he remembers stepping inside of some of the cameras.
Yeah, I think it was about copying cameras or something like too, but yeah.
They were the size of a small room.
Yeah, because the thing with copying cameras, before enlargers, they did have such a thing as a copying camera, but the copying camera was the one with the huge negative. You took this little tiny one, then you took a picture of that one, and of course there are downsides as far as quality and everything, but it was easier to do. But man, those cameras had to be pretty big too. So.
The billboards,
kind of funny.
The early billboards were painted and were more letters and things like that as opposed to pictures, because they couldn't make pictures big enough, cheap enough until I don't know what, the 50s, 60s, 70s.
Yeah, right around there.
Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So that's why
the emergence of enlargers came out right about mid-30s, I'd say. Even though they did have some before that, they were very primitive comparatively.
That's why the advertising was more hand-painted or lithograph or different things like that.
Which makes it kind of neat, actually. So that's
right. That's why the photography end of it didn't come in so early. It was just too hard to make it big.
Yeah, and that's also why logos mostly dominated the billboard market and stuff. Like you find a lot of logo signs instead of actual pictures and stuff.
Yeah, so there is some logic to how all those things.
Yep. Like those big Kodak
evolved.
prints we had, though. Those were actual enlarged, like large format probably, but then they're enlarged to the size of those pictures.
From the 40s that we have or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
So those were early.
We still have those. We're probably going to end up keeping those.
Yeah.
They're just too big to
Definitely
ship.
show them on the show though sometime, if
Yeah,
possible. We gotta be behind.
maybe. So
Yeah.
we did have a question about having a background here, and I think we are going to have a background or possibly a green screen where we
I can't
have.
tell we have our sign back here. It's a little sun faded, I can tell, but if you read like really closely, you know, it says like every awesome brand ever or
Yeah.
something.
It's
That's Schlitz.
it's actually harder to. One viewer thought we should hang a sign, then talk about it, hang another sign. If I had unlimited time, but it's not that easy to hang
No.
a sign. You only want to do it once. If
Instead
you've
of put
ever,
holes in your wall and
especially
and
big,
issues.
especially big ones. Well, yeah,
Yep.
my landlord would want me to repair all that. Okay, so we did get a couple of questions, and we need to wrap it up.
yeah. Yep. Yeah, I'm the one talking this time, sort of.
No,
Off talking.
No, that's fine. It's
I did my first like That Candy Guys review video in a year and a half, so I had to really warm myself up for talking today, so that's why I'm so talky. I'm kind of in the mode still, in the camera mode. But anyway.
Supra Wes says, glad to see you guys are back. Are you finding it harder to find cameras these days now that more people are getting into film? Plus, a lot of videographers are finding and using vintage lenses.
It's definitely true about the vintage lens thing with the videographers, which actually that's a pretty good niche on YouTube if you want to do whatever. But anyway, let's see, it's hard to find the cameras these days. Well, thing is you have to know where to look and you can still find them, but yeah, in general it is, like especially if you look in big cities and stuff for that kind of stuff, there are people out there who are looking for it more so than they were before. But like I said, it's really you just have to know where to look, which I don't know, we've evolved throughout the time to figure out where to find stuff. So
If
our evolution curve is above the decline. Yeah.
If we were to buy the same things year in and year out, we'd have a lot of problems, and we actually see that with some of the stores that we go to and some of the vendors that we buy from.
Yep.
They don't change with the times. We just continue to buy what's hot.
Yeah.
And the bottom line with the whole camera, video, lens, film, all that whole market is huge, and a lot of money is moving.
Yep.
And so we're in it to win it, and where it goes, we will go.
Yep. It's noticed throughout time that there's certain cameras that we used to pick up a lot more, and now we don't because they either go for less money, we find fewer of them, we find fewer working, but certain cameras, like just for example the Polaroid SX70, we used to pick up a whole bunch of those working, and now we can barely find a broken one. So there is some of that.
I'll give you
just
one.
Keep finding new stuff.
The technology is moving very, very rapidly, and there are companies now that are taking old movie camera shells, you were saying,
Yeah.
and they're putting new components in them.
Well, they're just restoring. Well, they have
Just
replacement parts for
Let me
every
roll with this
piece of
here.
it. Yeah.
So there's you know, the whole Polaroid instant camera thing is back.
Yep. People are
The whole
refurbishing
film
those.
thing is back. There are actually companies coming out with film
Kodak's-
cameras again.
Yeah, Kodak just released a Super 8
So-
movie camera, which is weird.
To give you an example how we treat the camera business and how I treat it, because I kind of keep a handle on our whole business, most of our camera stuff over $20, I reduce by 5% cost every 10 days.
Yep.
And so that means, you know, an item that's $100 over a year's time, you know, the 5%, it's a negative exponential or whatever. But after a year, a $100 item might be $50 or $40. If something is going to go bad on us, it's still going to sell.
Yep.
And so we just keep stuff moving, and then we keep up on what's hot, and we keep, you know, in the camera field. In the camera field, you've got the micro view, and I've got the macro view.
Yep.
You've got you're close to it, and I just kind of keep a handle on on the big end of it, and so we just keep going on it. It's a very, very interesting category.
Yep.
And like I said, there's a lot of money being spent and a lot of money moving, and you don't want to hang on. On the other end of that, all the stuff that I buy, the signs, the advertising, the beer stuff, the electronics, the vintage this, that, and the other thing, most of those things I discount every 30 days.
Yep.
The old toys, the Legos, the 70s, 80s, 90s builder toys, all that stuff. Slower change, slower moving.
Yep. And just another note on that whole thing. Let's see, where I was going to go with that. I totally forgot. Okay, never mind. You're talking for too long. Forgot what I was going to say.
Jolly Wrencher says, glad to see you're back. Can you talk about how you feel about researching good items only to see fellow eBayers have driven the value into the ground with auction listings or race to the bottom pricing? I'm a full-time reseller, and my biggest frustration is how people are so eager to devalue the market on eBay. A fast sale is great, but leaving an item sit on my shelf for another 30 days to make $50 to $100 is pretty easy money. How do we get the word out to price accordingly, list it and forget it, and wait for the buyer to come? So, Jolly Wrencher, a lot of questions there, a lot of good information. We could talk for hours on this, but what's a couple quick thoughts? I've got some.
Yeah, a couple quick thoughts I could think of would be...
Well, you were talking, okay.
Yeah.
You were talking about...
I know I had something, but I forgot.
How do you set yourself aside as a seller to get a premium price? So how are some ways that we set ourselves, or try to set ourselves aside as a premium seller and attract the high end?
Well, just in the most basic sense, obviously we have a high feedback and good ratings on that, and then even furthermore than that, we can test the stuff and provide a guarantee that it will actually work. So we get a lot of people in the professional market rather than the consumer market who need a camera to work, first time, first try. They want to order this thing and use it whenever it arrives, so they don't want to order something from an auction from somebody who's less experienced and that. So that's one way we set ourselves apart, and then certain items, like cameras in the LOMO/lomography field, I do some specific keywords and stuff to appeal to different markets that most people wouldn't think of using. So certain markets you can change a little bit.
Well, we probably do 10 or 12 things really well, and each one bumps us up a little bit. But on the other, before I forget about it, we have a 14-day money-back return. I hear that they're going to force us to go to 30 days.
Yeah, I thought I saw that somewhere.
In May or something, which is, I mean, it's fine, but in
10-year return policy.
Well, in vintage electronics, that's pretty.
This is the worst idea.
No, well, it's because people drop things once and it's done.
Yeah.
Anyway, on the other end of that, there's always going to be people that are going to sell things cheap. And you're not going to get around that. So if you find yourself constantly buying and selling in markets where there's too many cheap alternatives for people, you got to search for new markets.
Yeah.
Search for things that there's 10 items listed instead of 200. Search for items that are more unique. We haven't done a lot of it, but we do lots.
Also to find a balance. Just in the whole unique market, you need to find a balance between desirability and, so it's so unique that nobody's ever going to find it, but it has to be something that's desirable and less supply than demand, obviously.
Yeah.
That's just basic.
On the other end of that, when we buy in those type of markets where it's really price driven, we'll try to negotiate on the buy side, and we'll just tell people, man, these are common.
Yeah.
And here's what we can pay, and we'll still get our margin, but we'll take a piece of it from who we buy it.
Yep.
Or, and we'll do more on this. We should talk more about how both you and I approach buying.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Because I've already thought about some. We could have did that this week.
Yeah.
But
we have unlimited weeks.
So
going forward, we have to come up with something.
I go back and forth a little bit, and it depends on the item if I want to move it out or not. Some items that there's a huge flow, I just put it at flow and I sell it. Other things like my AGFA signs over here, I'll just sit and wait.
Yep.
And I will wait. It's really not about somebody undercutting me. It's really about the right person.
Yep.
Coming along. Those are that scarce. So, well, we definitely. Go ahead.
Yep. So another note on this Leica thing that relates to the whole thing is we had that listed for how long? Was it? I like to say like about a month, and it had 9 watchers the entire time. And finally, after that long, we found somebody who wanted it. So it's that same kind of thing. You can wait for it, and it's a supply demand. And also on the last question there, I remembered what I was going to say. It's about, like, I have no clue on the actual numbers, but I think it was right around 400,000 different models of cameras all the way from the beginning to whenever, just random metric there, so I'm not sure, but let's just say 400,000. So 100,000 of those are going to be reasonably common, and those are the ones that are going to change a lot over time, like price-wise, desirability-wise, whatever. And then those other 300,000 are where we have to start migrating towards as the 100,000 become more common / more expensive, harder to find. So, changing markets. You have to think about that a little bit and try to figure that out.
But that would be just like any buying and selling things, because there's always new things entering the market. There's always trends. There's always, you know, grass is greener on the other side of the fence. There's always, every dog has its day. There's always different age groups coming through the buying phase. There's, you know, something is shown on a show on TV, like Mad Men or whatever, and everybody wants it. So I mean, there's always
Star Wars movie comes out and all the merch material goes through the roof. Yeah.
So
whatever.
I did this just to end on this. I did this consignment thing starting probably 4 years ago or something, and this guy that had all these items, when he bought them at the peak of their tulip craziness.
Yep.
So
like
he thought,
Beanie Baby age,
like the Beanie Baby age, and he had all kinds of different things like that. And so he was still stuck that they were all the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing, because out of the couple thousand items that I listed for him, the 100 or 200 that he thought weren't that great were the ones that sold for big money, because nobody wanted them when he bought them. He just bought them because they were part of the whole collection.
Yep.
And then the ones that he thought were the greatest were the most popular.
Good. Dollar.
Oh my goodness! You couldn't give them away.
That stuff. Yeah.
And it was heartbreaking for him. Some of the news that I had to give him, you know. And for me, it was heartbreaking because the way he talked, I was greener, and I thought, oh man, I really got some stuff here. And when it showed up and I paid shipping to get it here, that was a learning event.
Yeah, it's funny. We actually started the whole relationship with him by buying some cameras on a lot on eBay. That's just kind of funny. Think about it, but yeah.
Yeah, so we've paid our dues. Okay, I finally do remember why I left doing videos about a year ago. I mentioned that I was going to go do taxes.
Yep.
And really I was just blowing up. So I mean, I was just losing it. And I did have to do my taxes, and some people mentioned, hey, you know, you've really been doing your taxes. So meanwhile, it's tax season again, and pretty soon I got to start doing the
so we're going to be quitting in a little while?
No.
Okay.
That's why we're limiting the editing on the show.
Yeah.
That's why we're limiting this to once a week, and supposedly limiting it to 1 hour, which...
I don't know, so far, like 6 hours in now.
No, we're at an hour and a half, unfortunately, with the edit inserts that we did.
Yeah.
So we are trying to keep it to an hour. I know several or many of you like it to go long or don't care if it goes long. Others of you are like, good grief.
Come on, make a 3-minute video.
Yeah, just get to the end where the good stuff is.
Should make like a 3-minute segment at the beginning, just like super fast talking, and then we just do.
Well, I did line up what was going to be on the show.
Oh, I guess you said that.
And then we started to fight, or I started to get crabby. Oh, we can't win. So anyway, this is episode 2. We list on eBay under the couple different IDs. NW, N as in Nancy, W as in watch or Walter, NW _ Kansas. NW _ Kansas, that's where I list a lot of my stuff. We used to list under our $1 to $50K. Mine is Dealers Wheels or something.
And it's Wheelers Deals, and I still list personal stuff on there, but not very often.
Yeah, I have some stuff listed on that, but it's just some personal estate stuff from my dad's estate. And then What's our other one? Oh, that Canon guy.
Forgot our main idea already? Oh, man.
Falling asleep, I told
Yeah.
you. That _ Canon, CANON _guy. That Canon guy, that's where we have all our camera stuff listed.
Yeah.
I have some test strip stuff and some other niches on some other IDs, and we do Amazon as well. So, subscribe to our channel.
Or don't.
Like us.
Or don't.
Oh, stop being an ass. Please.
Well, come on, they don't want to. Can't force them. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe.
Your humor level is funny.
Nah, not really.
I was trying to roll with it.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to end it.
Okay.
You want to do it?
Yeah. I'm good, I already did it. Like, comment, subscribe below. Leave us a comment with any questions or recommendations or anything. Should dealer wear a fro next episode? You decide.
Should I shave again?
Shaver is like a dog. Yeah.
Okay, we'll see you for episode 3 next week. Take care and have good picking.
Yep. Goodbye.